How's it going? Hope I find you well. What I wanted to talk to you about today is just this thing we do. And that's there's such a tendency in our society, I find, to label weaknesses and then not really examine it, but like, oh, that's a weakness, that's bad, we need that out, we need that gone now. And that is not always the case. The thing about weaknesses is it's part of you, and eliminating is going to take energy. So wouldn't you rather use it to propel you forward and get something out of it than having to spend time and energy trying to eliminate it? See, the thing about weaknesses I found is either A, it's not a weakness, it's actually a strength, and it's just your conception or perception, your perception or society's perception about it are just wrong. Well, not wrong, they're subjective of course, but anyhow, your perception or society's perception about it are that it's bad when it's not, it doesn't have to be, or it's almost a strength, it's like just a little off from a strength, or there are elements of strength in it, or you're just doing something, or you're doing it because you're frustrated in some way. Now, for example, a weakness that's actually a strength, or can be used as a strength, is fear of failure. Now, we've all had fear of failure that paralyzed us and kept us in place and stopped us from trying. But that's the thing, fear of failure can also push you forward. Because if you're afraid of failure, you can use that energy to put it into your project, whatever it is, if it's being a great musician or building a business or whatever, same rules apply. You can use that fear of failure to push you to prepare more and put more into the project to make sure it happens. But most people don't think of fear of failure that way. But if you talk lots and lots of the greats in any field, if you talk to them, they will tell you, or at least in the interviews they've said, that their fear of failure propelled them forward. Another example of something that's almost a strength, but not quite is, this is my personal one actually, I have the ability to pick out the weaknesses in a project or anything, why it's going to fail essentially. Like if you show me your business plan, I'll be able to tell you, boom, 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 okay, these are all your weak points right here. Now, this I realize it stemmed from a weakness because I didn't want to try, I didn't want to fail. I didn't want to try because I didn't want to fail. So what I would do, because I'm really smart, so I'd pick out anything I wanted to try, I would pick out all the things that were wrong with it, or all the reasons it would go wrong, or all the weaknesses, and then I would have justification in order to not do it. But the thing is, now I can pick out all the weaknesses and things really well. And on the surface, that looks like, oh, he's just focusing on the negative. Oh, that's going to really bring down his chakra alignment. Sorry for that shot there. But that's really going to bring you down. And you know what? If that's all you focus on, yes, it will. That will totally bring you down. I agree. But the thing is, there are negative things to life. And if you ignore them, is that going to make them go away? Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe somebody will come and make them go away for you. But most of the time, they're not going to go away. And that's a strength because now I can look at my business plan. Okay, I can go, okay, where are the weaknesses? Okay, what am I going to do about it? And I don't focus on the weaknesses. I go, okay, here they are. I acknowledge you. What can I do about it? And I figure out what I can do about it. And then I do it. Or if I can't do anything, because sometimes you simply can't. And that's just, there's always going to be some variable. Example, if you're having an outdoor event, like how are you going to, you can try to plan for rain and you can do some things about it, but you can't do everything. And then I move on. The trick is don't get attached to it, don't linger with it. And another thing is, of course it's good to be able to pick out the positive things and things. The positive things and things. But what's the difference between picking out all the negative and picking out all the positive? Many of the same skills are required for both, just different target. So all I have to do is I got to change my target. If I want to pick out the positive, I got to go, okay, negative, okay, positive. Notice a different sound? Yeah, positive is better. So really, it's a strength. It's a strength. It has to be tweaked a little bit maybe, and it has to be maintained, but what a value doesn't have to be maintained? I don't know. I don't know. And another thing is maybe these weaknesses you have are just your body's way of telling you something is wrong. You know, like, oh, you're moody and depressed and angry. Okay, like what? Let's look at your life. Oh, you're eating lots of crappy processed food. You're working a job you hate. All your friends are losers that you don't really like. You got a crappy relationship with your parents. You have no money in the bank. Oh, maybe that's why you're moody and depressed, because your life sucks and you're not doing anything about it. You're just going to your dead-end job and hanging out with the same people, and you're not pushing yourself in any way. I've got a friend who's like this. He hangs out with super bright guys, super gifted, but he's not using his gifts. He's just sitting, he plays video games, works his crappy part-time job that he works because he has to pay for stuff, and drinks, and that's it. And it's like, man, you're a musical, I don't want to say genius, but whatever's one step down from genius. You're a mathematical, again, one step down from genius, and you're not doing any of those things. Of course you're fucking depressed. Like, And like, don't get me wrong, sometimes maybe there is nothing you can do about depression, but there's always something you can do. Almost always, there is something you can do. Like, not to eliminate, but alleviate. So, to recap, weaknesses are often A, misunderstood strengths, B, can be shifted slightly to become a strength, or C, it's not actually a permanent weakness. It's just your body and your soul or whatever telling you that, hey, something's wrong. Something is wrong. So remember that when you're looking at your weaknesses. Try to shift it so it can be a strength. Or look at it. Why is it here? Maybe it's a warning. Maybe it's something telling me something. As always, onward and upward.